Hi guys, BJ Hathaway here at Augusta Golf Instruction, and want to look with you at the Tiger Stinger shot and look at some of the things that he does, and are there any real secrets, or is it set up and a few basic things in the swing that help him hit that shot that's really fun to watch and it just takes off like a bullet. And what do you need to do to try to learn how to hit that shot? So look back at the story of the shot and how it came about. It's the story goes that Butch Harmon taught him the shot, and Butch was taught by his father. And some basic setup procedures are in order, and then there's really just a couple of key elements in the swing itself that produce this low shot. So Butch would say you have to grip down the club an inch or two and move the ball back. Now we look at two different setups here of Tiger's address position here. You do see the ball back. We don't know exactly what club this is here on the left, but it's about underneath his nose as far as ball position. But you look on the right and you don't see that he's really choked down on this particular club, so that is probably a good idea though for most people, about an inch down from the top of the grip, just to give you a little bit more control over the club, but I wouldn't go a lot more than that until you practice the shot. So ball back, maybe a little bit, grip down on the club. One of the key things you'll see in the swing itself is how Tiger stays very steady or centered over the ball as he gets to the top of his swing here. So not a lot of movement onto the right side, no sway, no real appearance of loading weight into the right foot. So that's one of the keys to help create this shot, is to stay centered over the ball. Now from this view we're not going to really see that much, and we're going to see as far as plane, looks like a standard swing. It's not any shorter looking. There's no strange appearance to the plane angle he's using. So the swing itself is normal looking length and just a very centered backswing. Okay. So the big secret to produce this shot is going to be, what is he doing on the downswing? Now you'll see Tiger does always have that little sit down move, which I think is benefits him quite well, and a lot of golfers actually. Little bit of weight moving forward, doesn't have to move much because he stays centered. What we're going to see here, this frame by frame, is we get right here to what's basically called release point. I want you to notice where his hands are. So they're already in front of the golf ball, and that club has to move 90 degrees right now, or approximately 90. It's probably 80, but that club's 90 degrees from the ground. Okay, so at 90 degrees shaft from the ground, his hands are already probably at least 2 inches in front of the ball. And then from this perspective you won't really see much of anything, but we'll go ahead and mark that location. Okay, so about the same spot. Now let's go back and mark this spot and then proceed to impact. Now that's how much his hands have moved forward in a fraction of a second, with the club moving 90 degrees to the ground. So where are his hands now at impact? They are past his left shoulder, aren't they? And in line with the very outer edge of his left leg. So that's the real key, is to get those hands far enough forward so that you can create that kind of forward shaft lean. So whatever club he's hitting, it's about 2 clubs less at impact because of getting the hands that much forward. Now over here we'll see just this ball is going to take off so low. and you'll start to lose it in the picture here. But you'll see this is probably 10 feet out, and it may be 8 inches off the ground right now. And then you'll start to lose the ball a little bit through here. But basically that golf ball is right there, and it's probably 30 yards down the fairway by now. Now you'll see as he released the club how the leading edge of the face is lined up with the swing plane, so it's just a normal release. He's not overcooking the release and really trying to turn the club over hard. He's not keeping the face open either. It's just the club's face is staying in its relationship to the swing plane as he goes through the exit. Okay. So the key to this shot is a couple things in the setup. You want to grip down a little possibly. You do want to move the ball back, and then in the swing itself, trying to stay centered over the ball, and then you've got to get those hands forward, really forward in front of the golf ball. And that's a strange feeling, especially if you're an average golfer or high handicap golfer. That's the thing that we would be working on in your swing anyway, to try to help get you there to create more solid impact. But if you haven't gotten there before and you're just a weekend player, yeah, you want to be able to say I can hit the stinger, but that shot requires a lot of practice to be able to get your hands that far forward. So the key to start learning this shot is just to start actually with little chip shots. So we don't have a chip shot here, but little shots about this far back, and then trying to get your hands forward and keep that shaft angle. And then I would just stop the club about here, and you don't want the club to be way up here. Okay, that would lead to a very bent left wrist. So start with chip shots, teach yourself how to keep the hands forward, and then let me give you a little bit more clear view over here. So this is another perspective. One of the keys in creating that shaft lean is to key on a bent right wrist angle. Okay, that matches up with a very flat or even slightly bowed in left wrist angle. But if you can train yourself to hit chip shots and still finish with some of that bend angle in your right wrist, and then take the shaft through to about here, feeling like the club stays in line with your left arm and doesn't pass it, then you can start to apply that to a little bit longer swings. Take a 5-iron, hit 30, 40-yard shots, and train your hands how to get in front, keep your right wrist bent, keep your left wrist feeling bowed. And like I said, that shot requires a lot of practice before you can take it to the course, but once you feel how to do these couple things, then you should be able to take it and at least occasionally use that shot. It's a high difficulty level shot, but it's definitely worth the practice because it will create very good habits in your normal golf swing. Okay, so there's your stinger. If you got any questions, please let us know. Keep posting on YouTube your comments and questions. We'd be glad to see those, and join us on Facebook at Augusta Golf Instruction. Okay, thanks.